Small moments, so special that they remain with you the rest of your life. Moments you can take refuge in when times are not so great. We've all had them. One such moment for me began on a cold and blustery night in 1971. My dad was there. My mom was there. I was 16 and my life was safe and protected. My bedroom was what my folks called a dormer, and it ran the full length of the house with a window at each end. Whenever there was a storm, I would sit at the window facing south and watch. It didn't matter if it was a snowstorm or a thunderstorm. They fascinated me. I can still see the snow being whipped into a frenzy under the streetlight on Loud Drive. I remember hoping the storm would not be bad enough to cancel plans that my folks and I had for the next day. This would be our first Christmas in the little house in Oscoda near Cedar Lake Road and Loud Drive Junction. Before this, we had lived in a large home in Bridgeport, which had been built by my dad and grandpa shortly after World War II had ended. When we lived in that house, we always bought our Christmas tree at one of the many lots that sold them, and for many years, it seemed, the entire family got in on the choosing of the tree and decorating it. We looked forward to it all year long. And as the years rolled on, my sister and brothers left home, and I, being the youngest, was the only sibling remaining. Those changes were difficult, and it was just Mom, Dad, and me that picked out the tree in 1970. All this was going through my mind as I sat there watching the storm in my dark bedroom. As she often did when she knew I was restless and could not sleep, Mom came up the stairs with a steaming cup of tea for me, and we talked until I was tired enough to drop off. And before she left my room, she assured me that the snow would not stop us the next day from our plans. The plan was to get our Christmas tree, but we were going to pick out the one we wanted and cut it down, just like Dad did when he was my age. I thought it would be great fun. Mom was right as usual. The snow had stopped in the middle of the night, and after we all had breakfast, we started out. Dad had a sort of dark orange Opel Kadett station wagon, and that car always seemed cold, even when the heat was turned up all the way. Dad drove us to a huge tree farm somewhere out by Mankato, a very small town just northwest of Oscoda. If memory serves me correctly, I think the farm belonged to the Westmiller family. The tree farm was huge, and it covered a lot of territory. Dad drove us as close as he could to the trees, and then we three intrepid tree hunters got out and began our search for the perfect tree. Dad and Mom said I could pick it out myself, so I carefully examined each one as we walked past. Dad had the axe swung over his shoulder. And as we walked along, I remember singing Christmas songs, and just like fate planned, as we were singing, "Oh Christmas Tree," I saw the right one. I dashed over to it and proudly declared, "This is it." Mom shook her head, "But it's too big." And I reminded her, "You and Dad said I could choose, and this is the one." It didn't take long to cut the tree down. Dad swung the axe a few times, and then I finished it off. The honor fell to me to drag the tree back to the car. Dad had a serious heart problem, so I didn't want him to drag the tree along, and though she wanted to try it, the tree was much too heavy for her, for Mom. Dad and I tied the tree to the top of the car and then stopped to pay as we drove out. I don't recall any more except the feeling of being safe, and truly I was, but that safe and secure feeling would slip away as time marched on. I can look back now and close my eyes and feel that yet. There were a lot of times as I was growing up that I would see my mom's eyes get misty. When I'd ask her what was wrong, I couldn't understand what she meant, but I sure do now. She would tell me that she wished, just for even one day, that she could go back in time to see again her grandparents who raised her, and that she loved so deeply. Yeah, I understand now, and find myself wishing that I could go back, even if it was for just one day. Well, God bless you, and have a great day.